Welcome back to another segment of Idle News, where we gather the latest in education news and we make it relevant to educators and corporate instructional designers. So the first up today is we have to talk about the seismic shift triggered by a series of executive orders that were signed this week by President Donald Trump. The education system, as we know it, is being challenged at its very roots. And that includes how we define quality, compliance, and even our innovation in learning. And so I want to give you a couple of the headlines that were in this one article on Political. So obviously they're going to continue to crack down on diversity, equity, and inclusion, not only just like across the board, but specifically also in accreditation. So if there are accrediting bodies that require DEI, those are now being flagged for review. And it could also mean fewer mandates for inclusive design and more pressure to depoliticize those learning outcomes. There's also some new data compliance rules. So these schools and colleges are being told to measure student outcomes without considering anything about race or sex or ethnicity. And so that actually changes how success is measured and how it's reported. And it changes the lens through which, we design instruction, of course. Another overhaul is the discipline policy in K through 12. And so earlier, Obama, incorporated into the school disciplinary policies, more about keeping track of the race and the genders of the students that were being disciplined and to cut down on the amount of suspensions and in-school suspensions. And this administration is reversing that prior policy to reduce racial disparities. And instead, the shift is towards, quote, a common sense discipline. And so that means that instructional designers in education spaces may need to work some of these discipline policies and training. And then the last thing that was in this article, like I said, there was a lot that came out, is AI. Training for educators is now a national priority. So there's a directive to scale AI training for not just the students, but the educators to make sure that they are able to integrate AI into education, right? These students have to learn AI, and so we have to teach our teachers and start incorporating it into the schools. So obviously, this means, you'll see a lot of changes in the discipline protocols. The accrediting bodies may shift their criteria fast. That's an opportunity for, of course, instructional designers there. Also, the federal shifts influence that public-private training partnerships. So expect questions about neutrality in your content and, of course, an increased interest in skills outcomes, which is what we're already about anyway, right? And then this call for AI education is a major opportunity to build programs, to build these training programs for educators. And so maybe you could start looking into that opportunity as an instructional designer. So basically, we're just going to continue to focus on skills over ideologies. And while these policy changes might not directly affect your role, it will ripple into grant funding, accreditation audits, partnerships, and the whole program approval process. And I want to get into some of these mandates. So the first one, right, is the reforming accreditation to strengthen higher education. And so, it's just more about that focus on making sure that DEI is not a part of their accreditation standards, and instead to shift the focus more on those student outcomes. The institutions are required to use program level student outcome data to improve results. And this, of course, is without reference to race, ethnicity, or sex. The other thing that it emphasizes is prioritizing intellectual diversity among faculty. to increase the academic freedom and student learning. And so this means that there will need to be more adjustments in the curriculum for higher education, that the focus will be on measurable student outcomes. And then also the assessment strategies that are in alignment with that. And of course, institutions have to ensure their programs meet the new revised accreditation standards that will be coming out. The next one is preparing Americans for high-paying, skilled trade jobs of the future. All right, so now they're looking for some alternative credentials. Again, another opportunity for corporate instructional designers to be the people to build things like this. The order encourages the identification of alternative credentials and assessments to the traditional 4-year college degree. Now, you know that I am a fan of trade schools, career schools, vocational schools, and alternatives to the 4-year degree, and especially things that make people job ready. But now it is, a full letter from the office. And so this means that instructional designers have to focus on creative programs that provide, again, practical skills aligned with real industry needs that are currently an industry need, and of course, the future of our trades. And then it just gives more focus on partnerships with industry. And I would say something about lifelong learning, but I think we've known about that for a long time. And then, of course, I touched on this in the bigger article about AI in education, but there was, like I said, another executive order, and that is advancing artificial intelligence education for American youth in the classroom. And so this order actually establishes a policy to promote AI literacy and proficiency amongst all Americans by integrating AI into education and providing this AI training for educators. Is the AI training built yet? No. Does that mean there's opportunities for us? Yes. You can't really ignore the impact that AI is having and that it will continue to have in the future of our workforce. And so that starts at the primary level. And so there is an AI education task force, a White House task force on artificial intelligence education is established to implement this policy, including members from various federal departments and agencies. And so again, the implication is there, right? There's both opportunity and a need to create the AI education. And so, all these executive orders that I've just covered with you signal a significant shift, right, in educational priorities. They are emphasizing measurable outcomes, workforce readiness, and technological proficiency. So educators and instructional designers, we all play a crucial role in adapting to these changes and making sure that these learning experiences are aligned with the evolving landscape. I found something interesting. I don't know what school it is, but I wanted to show you something I found.
There's a school in the US that has introduced AI, and in 2 hours, some kids are getting as much as 2 years ahead of where a normal American kid is at that time. 2 hours. Because after that, the rest of the time they spend on quote unquote life skills.
And so here it is again, they are already starting to implement. And this has been going on for a while, but we're starting to get some real data and some real movement about what it means to actually incorporate AI into the classroom and what it does for those learners. Now, obviously, this is anecdotal. I don't have a lot of the details about where this study came from or what it came out of. I just randomly found it on TikTok, but I thought it was interesting, definitely worth digging into to find out, are there more studies like this about AI advancing student capabilities by as much as 2 years in just 2 hours? Is that blowing your mind? Does that seem realistic to you? Definitely let me know. The other thing that I found on LinkedIn in our industry that I thought was interesting is about Canva Create. I don't know if you've seen this. Josh Cavalier, he's definitely into AI for learning and development. He's a great person to follow there on LinkedIn. But he was one of the ones to announce Canva Create. creating Canva code. And it's a generative AI powered interface that makes building interactive digital experiences as simple as writing a sentence. So this isn't just another product drop. It is the democratization of code. That means that everyone can code without actually having to code. And so you prompt it, AI builds it, you guide and refine it, and then suddenly you've got a working application. And so this means you, the instructional designer, the educator, or content creator, whoever you are, you can now generate quizzes, interactive timelines, simulations, data visualizations, and other dynamic learning assets with ever writing a line of code. Has anybody went and played with Canva Code, Canva Create? Let me know. I want to know if you've already started building things with this. And so really we're going beyond those HTML widgets and those drag and drop interfaces. We are entering a world where AI scaffolds your ideas into fully functional experiences in real time, and you don't even have to know how to code. And so really this just makes innovation more accessible to more people. And I know the people in our industry are so imaginative and inventive and creative. I really can't wait to see what else starts coming out of Canva code. And then the other one I found that was interesting, kind of in a different genre. His name is Ruben Hassid. He really just talks about mastering AI in a general sense. What he put out that I thought, so clever. Maybe you've heard of Gamma app, and maybe you've used it to create really quick PowerPoints. But it does more than PowerPoints. Now you can actually use this AI-powered app, Gamma app, to create a website in minutes. All right. And so it's not just a slide deck builder anymore. So all you got to do is go to Gamma's sites features. It's still in beta, but it is there. And then you create a prompt just like you do in ChatGPT. You paste your idea. I mean, honestly, you could just go to ChatGPT, get your, write out your website outline, and then paste it right there into the Gamma app. And then Gamma does the rest. It generates the site outline, lets you select the layout. You get some clean, modern styles, just like their PowerPoint slide decks. You can easily upload links, images, branding, and then in less than a minute, you've got a polished, functional website. So you could do this for rapid deployment, right? Whether you're launching a course, onboarding experience, a learner resource hub, right? You can now spin up a branded functional site in minutes. You do not need to know how to be a web developer. It's also perfect for prototypes and portfolios, right? If you're building your own personal brand, maybe you are showcasing your own projects that you've done. This tool gives you an instant launch pad. So it's not just for marketers or founders. It is a great tool for educators and specifically those corporate instructional designers. I also want to let you know that Idle for AI is about to be launched soon. You can get on the wait list to be the first one to find out and get those, first to market prices that we always do. If you go to idlecourses.com/AI, there are going to be 4 different credentials, and you can bundle them all together. You can, enroll in them separately, and it will take you all the way from a very newbie beginner learning how to prompt AI all the way to building AI agents and automating AI across your learning and development organization. And so if learning how to use AI and really to build GPTs, AI agents, and get better at prompting for our industry, this is the program for you. So get on the wait list, idlecourses.com/AI. Now, the other thing I wanted to make sure that you know about are Idle Presents, where we have the top voices in the learning and development industry come and give free trainings on different topics. The one coming out May 8th is AI Course Development Kickstarter. So it's going to be a great one by Sharon. And you can go and sign up for that. And when you sign up for an Idle Presents webinar, not only do you, of course, get the link to go and show up live, you get access to an entire library of recorded webinars by other IDLE presenters. And that's it. That's our IDLE news wrap up for today, April 24th, 2025. Let me know in the comments about any of the things that we covered today, the future of education, and I will see you the next time that we have an IDLE news session on a Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, bye for now.